Hey friends, it's Raine Grayson, Organizational and Programs Manager at TMI Project, and the director of this season of the TMI Project Story Hour, Period Power Stories. We wanted to let you know that while you can still most certainly listen to this special collection wherever you get your audio, it was specifically produced on video. We're trying to keep up with the times. That said, if sonic storytelling is your thing, feel free to stay here. Or you can come find us on YouTube at TMI Project. Either way, we're glad you're here, and thanks for listening. Or watching. Or both.
I want to get to the bottom of this, and I really want my green car, okay? So I asked her the big question, Mom, are you on your period? Is that why you're so cranky? This is a bad move for the young buck.
The TMI Project Story Hour presents the Period Power Stories podcast, where we tackle taboos about periods one story at a time. All storytellers are members of the Kingston High School Period Power Club, a group dedicated to destigmatizing menstruation, raising awareness of period poverty, and inspiring action to ensure free menstrual products for all students. In 2023, club members took a 10-session TMI Project True Storytelling workshop and wrote about their own experiences with periods. Now, we're sharing these stories to continue the conversation.
The views shared in this podcast are solely those of the subject and don't reflect the beliefs or opinions of TMI Project. This podcast is for entertainment and informational purposes only and is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Hi, I'm Makayla, high school senior activist and your host for today's episode. Today we're going to be talking to three men about periods and give them a taste of what it's like for menstruators. Welcome, everyone. So I'm going to need your name, your pronouns, how you're connected to the club, and one thing we can't tell by looking at you.
Hi, I'm David. My pronouns are he, him. And one thing people can't tell by looking at me is I love chess.
Hi, I'm RhemYi. My pronouns is he, him. I was connected to this club by a friend. And one thing you can't tell by looking at me is that I'm a Transformers fan.
Hi, I'm Bill. Many of the students call me Mr. Burch. My pronouns are he, his. I'm connected to the club via the students, as well as my partner and daughter who were founding members. And one thing about me you can't tell is I'm an avid ice hockey fan. Go Devils.
Great, thank you. So we have a few questions anyone can answer. The first question is, before getting involved with Period Power, what was your understanding of what a period was?
My understanding was it would happen once a month and watch out for what's ever happening, Be kinder, be better, be on your best behavior, basically.
Well, as the old man in the group, I knew about periods way before being part of Period Power.
Yeah.
But I remember clearly the day I discovered what they were. I was a young boy, maybe 7 years old, eating breakfast at the kitchen table. A table I still own. It's an octagon table. And my mother was on the phone in her bathrobe, and there was blood running down her leg. And I didn't know what that was, and she was horrified. And immediately said, I have to go, and hung up the phone and ran to the bathroom. And afterwards, she had to come out and explain to me what was happening because I was nervous. You see your mother bleeding. And so I learned the rudimentaries of it, that it was a cycle that happened.
Yeah.
And but I was a very inquisitive kid who read encyclopedias for fun and had a million questions a day. So my mother's way of teaching me was handing me books. So shortly thereafter, I was given numerous books about reproductive cycles, from like childhood ones like birds and animals explaining it to more in-depth ones because I was a voracious reader.
Can you remember a moment where you felt uncomfortable discussing menstruation?
There was one time in the after school bus coming from middle school, and my friend Patty was talking about how she's on her period and she had her pads with her. And I just I just thought that was not gross, but it was like something I'm not used to hearing in conversation. So I just I was uncomfortable with it, so I just shut down the whole conversation.
It's actually funny because I've grown very accustomed to talking to my male friends and with friends in general about getting my period. And I feel like I do notice like these awkward looks and stuff that I get sometimes, like when I'm talking to a male friend about like how I'm having cramps or like I just got my period and I'm so annoyed. But I feel like I've surrounded myself with people who don't really care. And I think it's really, it makes me feel good.
I don't remember a time where I was uncomfortable. And I think my family culture, my father was never modeled that like macho idea of like, oh, this is disgusting. It's girl stuff. You know, he would, I have to go get your mother pads. And so it was, I never really thought about it until I joined Period Pal. It was so normalized in my family culture that it was never something gross. I remember one of my first jobs was a supermarket and I would stock that aisle.
Yeah.
And it didn't bother me. And I would see teenage girls at the end of the aisle, looking down, and they wouldn't come down to get their pads unless I left.
How has being involved in period power impacted how you think or talk about periods with people in your life?
I would just say I'm overall more comfortable talking about it now, right? And same like Mr. Burch, I come from a family of all women, so it was something normalized, but I remember a time where I was criticized for talking about it openly. In 9th grade, I remember, talking to one of my friends about periods. And it wasn't them specifically, but someone close to them saying I shouldn't be talking or asking questions about that. And ever since then, I kind of just shied away from the topic. But since joining Period Power, I became way more open to talking about the conversation again.
It's maybe more of an activist, I guess. Hearing the struggle that menstruators were going through, the lack of access to supplies, and the fight just to get them in, despite it being a law, brought me awareness of the struggle that shouldn't exist. Like, it shouldn't be a problem. So more openly speaking about it, advertising Period Power Club in my classroom, trying to get people to join, morning announcements. When they have announcements, I would explain, clarify, or quell any negative comments about the issue with the club.
Yeah. And I think for me, it made me really, I think, care more about my body and how I treated it. And the fact that like I did need to take care of and keep up with it, you know, every month, every day, really. It also really kickstarted my activism as well, because for me, like, I started high school right out of COVID, and like being online in like 2020 and like all of the social issues going on, I wanted to be an activist. Like, I wanted to be involved in something. And so it's really nice to see how things can start from just looking for like a place of, I guess, belonging and wanting to help in some way and finding your place. It's not every day that we have men here, so we're really happy that you're here. What does it feel like sharing your experiences?
Feels good. It feels good.
I can agree with that statement. It does feel good. I'm happy to be here.
Great.
I'm really proud of the guys. You know, as a father of daughters and being older, this is more normal for me. But to see young men kind of pick up this torch, this issue, and being advocates for it, gives me hope for the future.
All right, let's shift gears. So we're going to have you experience what it's like for menstruators once a month. So basically, we have what we call a TENS machine, and it's supposed to mimic the pain of a cycle. So this is what it looks like. We're going to be putting it on you, and you're going to see what it's like. So let's get ready. All right, so we've got the machines on. Are you uncomfortable?
I am very uncomfortable, actually.
How do you think this would impact your ability to get through a typical day of work or school?
I would. Yeah, I would give up midway during the day.
I mean, I'd be angry. I'd be irritable. I'd be short-tempered. I wouldn't want to be bothered with school or questions or, yeah.
You're looking a little uncomfortable there, David. Okay.
I'm fine.
All right. And what would you say to someone who dismisses menstrual cramps as no big deal?
Shut up. You know nothing.
Ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
Ignorance.
What are you doing to her?
Nothing.
Yeah, she turned it
I'm
off
changing-
finally.
Oh.
Changing the mode.
I thought she was turning it off.
Wait, how do you want to answer that question too?
Yeah.
Do you hear?
Yeah, just shut up, really. You know what I'm saying? Once you, you know, you just got to go through. I can understand because, you know, ignorance, like they said. So obviously you're not going to really know. You're going to say something that someone else that actually goes through it, you know, they're going to take offense to it. But I wouldn't want to go through a day like this.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is it constant for menstruators, or are there like it hits you for a while and then you get some relief, and then an hour later you go through another 20 minutes of cramping and then there's relief, or do you feel this constantly throughout your day?
I mean, I would say that it's different for everyone. Now, like for me personally, I don't cramp too much. And they're not, it seems as painful as other menstruators have it. But for me, I think it's more like I get my period and I feel it that day, and it's maybe like a whole night. So like hours.
Okay.
And there's just like the same pain in the same area. It almost feels like a really bad stomach ache, and it's usually just like look.
Yeah.
But really for me, that's when the pain is over. And I usually don't really have cramps after that. But I do know people who have cramps that last over a long period of time, or like can go for days, and it's like debilitating.
Mm-hmm.
So, RhemYi, I have a question for you. How did experiencing the simulation change your perspective on what people who menstruate might go through on a regular basis? And what can you as a non-menstruator do to support them?
Well, I would definitely understand how upsetting it would be to have someone like talk down on it, and, you know, act like it's no big deal, saying like, I don't know, like what do they say? Just drink water. People say that, like just drink water. Yeah. This is. Yeah, I wouldn't say that to anybody like who goes through this.
I've always felt like one thing I've wanted people to say to me when I'm like feel like got pain from cramps or just uncomfortable is to kind of almost let me be, but still like affirm that they're there emotionally and also like physically, like, hey, like I'm here for you, whatever you need. Because I think a lot of people do want space sometimes, and they just want like, hey, like I just want to watch TV on my own, or like do my own things and like not be like not have this person in my ear telling me to like, especially when you have parents and they're like, oh well, go do this, go wash the dishes, go do that, and it's like, no, like I'm in pain, like I just need my space. So I think giving people that distance and letting them like feel that pain, because it is natural and that is something they're gonna have to experience, giving them that chance and just being and being someone to listen to them is really goes a long way. Thank you for going through that simulation. We really appreciate you being open about your experiences. So next we're gonna hear RhemYi's period power story. And RhemYi talked about how he had a little trouble with his mom when he went on a shopping trip and asked her the worst question we could.
What's up, everyone? It's your boy, RhemYi. I'm here to tell you a tale from when I was just a young buck so you can learn from my mistakes. It all starts when I'm 6 years old, and my mom and my grandpa pick me up from my soccer practice. I'm exhausted, but my mom tells me to go and stop by the grocery store and get some food for dinner. It's not exactly how I want to spend my night, but I'm not the one driving. Usually I hang out in the car while my mom shops, but today I have no phone, I have no entertainment, and my mom always takes forever in the store. Like, bro. I don't know about you, but sitting in the car with no entertainment except my grandpa going on and on about my mom taking long in the store doesn't exactly sound like a good time. So I bite the bullet and go inside with my mom. The minute we start shopping, I know something's off with my mom. As she grabs a cart on the way, and I make my way to the claw machine at the front of the store. Sometimes my mom will give me $1 to play with the machine. Sometimes I'm hopping over and around long enough hope my mom will let me, give me $1. Nope, not today. She doesn't even acknowledge me as she pushes the cart further into the store. Not wanting to get on her bad side, I follow her, leaving the idea of trying my luck with the claw machine. As you go up and down the aisles, we eventually end up on the most boring part of the store, the pharmacy. The only good part, the pharmacy is right next to the best part, the kids section. As we walk by the section, there it is, my hopes and dreams. I see an entire section of my favorite toy, Hot Wheels. I run up to the display, taking stock of all the different cars, looking for one that I didn't already have. I look over at my mom, try to get a feel for if she's let me get one. But she just stares me down. She doesn't say I can't get one, though, so I assume it's okay to keep looking. Then I see it, the coolest car ever. It's a bright green color, and it looks like a praying mantis. It changes color in the water, best part. And you can take it apart like a transformer. To a young buck like me, discovering a Hot Wheel this cool, it's like discovering gold. And it's only $1. Sure, my mom would let me get it, right? Right? As soon as I pick up the car, I hear my mom's voice all over me angry. Don't touch it because you're not gonna get it. Okay, everyone. This is where things get really sticky for your boy. So listen closely and learn. I'm sure my mom was walking past the aisle so she can have a reason to yell at me. She's been in a mood ever since she picked me up from soccer practice. Maybe she's just trying to take out her bad mood on me. Why would she let me look at it but not let me get it? I mean, come on, that's just cruel. I beg her to let me get it, and we go back and forth in the middle of the store. It's clear, it's still a forcibly no. Why is getting a Hot Wheel such a problem? I ask myself, since she's always allowed me to get one every other time I stop with her. First the claw machine, now this? What's going on with my mom? My 6-year-old brain starts cranking it to the max. And I rack my brain for what could have her in such a mood. Suddenly, I have a revelation. There's only one thing my mom has mentioned in the past that could lead her to have such a bad mood for no reason. Her period. I want to get to the bottom of this, and I really want my green car, okay? So I ask her the big question, Mom, are you on your period? Is that why you're so cranky? This is a bad move for the young buck. She tells me, do you want to be grounded? I know what's good for me, so I let it go. As we continue to the shop, though, my mom is still angry. As we check out, she's angry. You guess it. The car ride home was no better. Luckily, my grandpa was playing one of my favorite songs he introduced to me, Black and Yellow. Y'all know that one? So let's try to tune into the music and forget about the whole thing. As we get home, my mom starts putting away the groceries. All I can think about is I'm definitely taking the grounding. I hate being grounded. When I'm grounded, I'm stuck in my room with my brother who's always watching this weird video or ad. Something. All I can think about is how unfair it is. I didn't do anything wrong. Why am I being punished for my mom's bad mood? It's not my fault she's on her period. Fast forward to today. Looking back, it's clear to me as a young buck, I didn't understand why my mom was so upset what I did. All I knew at the time was that I had disrespected her and I had a punishment coming. I can see how my comment could have made my mom feel hurt. I understand that she's probably going through a lot with cramping, hormones, and so many other things out of her control. I think more men should become educated about periods. If I had known what I know now, I would have never said what I said to my mom that day. I'm glad I'm more educated on the subject now so I can be more compassionate and respectful to the people in my life when they get their periods. So come on, man, listen to your young boy and join me. It's the least we can do so the young bucks like me can always have their Hot Wheels and our moms can know we're always in their corner. Love you, Mom.
So, what was it like for you to open up and share that part of your life with a live audience? Were there any challenges or moments of growth that stood out to you?
When I was a kid, definitely wasn't no growth. I didn't really think about it. Shouldn't mention it again. You know, I was like, oh, I shouldn't mention that again. And it was fun talking about it on the stage.
Yeah.
Man, that's pretty much it. It was just a lot of fun getting to tell that story.
And also having your mom in the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing her in action was really nice.
She liked the story. She was very proud.
Yeah. Okay, so this question is for everyone. Hearing his story and going through the period cramp simulator, how will you approach conversations about periods differently?
Damn. Okay. I would be a lot more open-minded when it comes to cramps, right? I knew it was something painful, but this is an entire different experience than what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I'd be sure to address anyone who's maybe speaking down or dismissing the intensity of someone else's period. When you hear someone else, another student or another man kind of saying, oh, making light of it, I would certainly speak up and say, do you want to experience it? We can arrange it.
Yeah.
Because I have.
And I don't think it's necessarily about having to tiptoe around menstruators when they're feeling a certain way or anything like that, but just being a compassionate human in general and like seeing how someone might seem like they're comfortable and they're in pain and giving them that space is, goes a long way, whether you're a menstruator or not. But I think especially for menstruators, it shouldn't be like an obligation to have to tell people, hey, I'm on my period, so that's why I feel this way, rather than, hey, I'm just uncomfortable, like, give me like that grace of like not feeling great right now.
Men are taught directly and indirectly how to handle pain.
Yeah.
And just power through it, rub some dirt, all the tired cliches, which then I think prevents them from having empathy for someone else's pain. So they project that onto other people. They don't just tough it out, and because that's what they're told to do.
I've kind of reflected on this a lot before as well, but how women are taught to be emotional in the more sad kind of realm and be vulnerable in that way. But showing that anger and being frustrated is more of like a thing that a man does. So it's like you feeling pain and being angry about it isn't valid. Like you should only be crying.
It's not ladylike.
And yeah, it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And men can't show vulnerability and pain because then we're acting like a woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over the next 5 years, what's one thing you'd like to see change in how men view menstruation in our society?
I want it to be more of a talked subject. I feel like it shouldn't be something uncomfortable to talk with, or something that every household should be talking, at least talk to about their child with, to get them in, just to get in that comfortable state of just talking about it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting having that experience in middle school of like being separated by the curtain in the gym and having the boy side and the girl side, and then us learning about periods and having the guys learn about whatever they learned about. I still don't know to this day. And I think integrating that and showing that it's very normal and okay for boys or non-menstruators to learn about anatomy and also about periods and those general things goes a long way of like normalizing that like these are things like you might have a girlfriend, you might a mother, a sister, someone in your life who is a menstruator who will maybe need a pad one day or a tampon, some sort of product, or just like need your support when they're not feeling well because of their period. And starting that from a young age does go a long way of like being there for menstruators in the future. So
we had to build on what RhemYi said. If it becomes normalized and talked about, then at the levels of bureaucracy, the impediment should go away.
Yeah.
Right. That's the only way. We need to get non-menstruators involved in knocking down the stigma, making it normalized so that you don't have to struggle with these things.
Yeah.
And until they get involved, nothing's going to change.
Yeah. Thank you. And I think that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of the TMI Project Story Hour presents the Period Power Stories podcast.
If you like what we're doing, please subscribe, rate, and leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps.
TMI Project is available to offer true storytelling workshops and performances for your school and workplace.
To learn more or to support our work, you can find the details at tmiproject.org.
This episode was produced in partnership with HUDSY and Kingston High School's Period Power Club.
It was written and produced by Hayley Downs, Raine Grayson, and Pfeil. All episodes are shot and edited by HUDSY.
Special thanks to our partners for their generous support of this work. The Hudson Valley Foundation for Youth, the Rowley Foundation Fund for Women and Children, and the Stavros Niarchos Foundation. We couldn't do it without you.